What is happening? We finally here. Can y'all hear me? If there's anybody in here? Yeah, we had some technical difficulties, but it's we got them ironed out, I think. So should be good to go. Think. Look at the camera. I think. Son of Crate Slayer, what's up, man? Thanks for stopping by. Oh, yeah, if anybody's in here yet, just let me know if y'all can hear me. Mike was doing some weird stuff the other day. So hopefully it's still good. But yeah, we're here. Happy Father's Day to everybody. Yeah, I hope you get to have a drink with your old man or go fishing or something crazy, do something stupid. I don't know. I don't know what y'all are like. All good on sound? Sweet. Perfect. But without further ado, let's get into this. So this is my first live in a while. So it's not foreign, but it's definitely dipping the toe back in. Rondo Toys, what up? Thanks for stopping by. But yeah, let's see. It's been a minute since I did my last live, and the thought was always to do these types of painting lives, but then stuff kind of happens, and where my initial paint setup was, it was like it's like in a walk-in closet kind of on the other side of the room there, and I was like, well, my computer's here. I don't want to get all my shit over there, and but I want to keep my computer here, and it was it was kind of a nightmare to try and figure out the logistics of everything. Just a booth, what's happening? So yeah, we finally got that squared away, and like how to set everything up finally. And then on top of all that, like Hobby Lobby stopped carrying my paint, and it's just been one thing after the other. But we are here now. But first, we go look at some toys. Yeah, Justin Boo, sweet. We got some people in here. Let's see, I gotten quite a few toys. I just kind of grabbed a few of the big hit highlight ones. Because like there's been some pre-orders. I bought a couple figures from Ayo Frankie because he knows I'm a whore for this stuff, and he knows how to get me. So all it takes is a little, hey, you want this? You want this? And I'm just like, yes. He knows me too well, so he knows what'll get me. So I bought stuff from him. But let's see. First, for GameStop has been carrying some really good stuff, and I finally got. Oh, I suppose we should put the other camera on. There we go. So I finally got. Oop, let's move the microphone. I finally got. Oop, how are we doing this? Cammy. I got her, Guile, and Shit, who's the other one? Dude with the freaking slippers. Got him brain farting on his name. He got the Benjamin Franklin shoes. Shit, I can't. Why am I brain farting on his freaking name? You guys, I'm sure you guys know in the chat. But yeah, we finally got those guys. So the only ones I need now are, who is it? DJ, Dalsim, and uh I'm brain farting again. Good lord, like how many times is this gonna happen? It's gonna happen a few times. Just so you know. Um Fei Long, god damn. Okay. Yes, Dan Vega. And thanks for stopping by. Saving my brain fart stupidity. Oh, why is my camera glitched? I could see my camera glitched. It wasn't doing this the other day, so but we got Cammy, and I have that one on pre-order, that one from it's using the Whaleworks body uh on 5K. So I got that pre-ordered, but I have the other Whaleworks body, and I'm gonna use that to make a Street Fighter 6 Cammy. So that'll be interesting. And let's see, what do we have? Who do we have next? Okay, and still on the Street Fighter theme, we got, of course, we got Nash. This guy, he looks so good. Yeah, she got all the legs, Justin. Yeah, yeah, they knew what they were doing when they designed some of these characters. But yeah, Nash is dope. One thing I was scared of when I saw what they were including with this, that effect piece. Where is it? This thing. Um, the one for uh Sagat doesn't fit his foot hardly. And so I was worried about this one, but this one fits like a glove and it stays there. The one for Sagat barely fit, at least mine barely fit, and it wouldn't stay. So I was a little sketched out by that, but you know, it looks good now. And this thing's rock solid. I can't believe they included this for the same price. This is dope. Like, you kidding me? Come on now. Let's see. Yeah, yeah, this same thing as all the other Storm Arena ones. He poses like a dream. He's smooth as butter. He's got the glasses. Like, it's really good. And they gave you the option for the full sleeveless. Like, come on now. Come on now. It's too good. Like, I can't wait for the next stuff they're doing. Hopefully they're doing, I'd love to see them do some stuff other than Street Fighter. Like, I want to see what they would do with, who, like, Cyberpunk, or if they could do Marvel stuff, that'd be dope. Like, we can dream. We can dream. What else did we grab? I found Lucy from, speaking of Cyberpunk, at GameStop, and GameStop has been killing it. At least mine has. For the last, probably for the last year, it's been really consistent with, they're getting stuff in, which is really weird. So, because before, I think a couple of years ago, they had like nothing. So it's been a nice surprise all, like, the last year or so. Thing with the new Spider-Man with symbiote. Oh, okay. I was like, I haven't seen that one in the wild yet, so I don't know if I'm gonna pick that one up, because it's a very niche, like, figure. Like, it's kind of only good for the one thing. So I need a little versatility with it. Not that I might not get it, but I don't know. It'd have to be like on a pretty good sale for me to get it, I think. But that's dope. That's dope. And Jada's killing it with these. I am curious. I'm probably at least gonna pick up one of the Buzzmod ones of these. I don't know which one yet, but um, they all look good. Uh, and the Jada one has like full cloth goods for David, the male character for this. So you, that's like, and this is soft goods. So they're fucking killing it. Jada and Storm are just on fire this year. Okay, and last of my pre-orders. Huge Dragon Ball Z fan. Come on, stop glitching, camera. Come on now. Okay, there we go. This is the new version of Vegeta for, I think this was supposed to be for the Android Saga. If y'all are familiar with that. And Vegeta's hands down one of my favorite Dragon Ball characters. Like it's look at that, and it's got the aesthetic from the Android slash Cell Saga, which is very, to me at least, it's very distinct because I'm not a fan of how the art style wasn't vastly different from the Saiyan Saga, the first season, but it's noticeable, at least to me. I've talked about this with AO Frankie, and he's like, "Dude, you're fucking crazy." Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, "No, I know what I'm seeing. I'm not crazy." But I think the characters, uh, they were drawn a little like pudgy, whereas in Cell Saga, even into the Namek Saga, they were kind of pudgy. But Cell Saga, they're like more muscular and lean, and the aesthetic of this figure. Come on, camera, stop this. Oh, you've got to be. It's back. Okay. But the aesthetic for this one and the Goku they have coming up, I think it's gonna be released like next month. It just looks like right out of the intro when they're all standing there in a line. Like it's really great. There are some problems with this figure though, other than the aesthetics, which is purely why I got it, because like that's my version of Vegeta. And if they do a powered down version, by all means, like take my money. But there are some problems with this. So I don't know if anybody here does imports. Um so because I know most of the people, I think, that like, we pop up on lives um tend to be like Marvel Legends, GI Joe, uh domestic stuff. Um this is SH Figure Arts, Son of a Grand Slayer. And they are shorter. Um they are smaller than Marvel Legends. We've got next to Adam Warlock. So they are short. They're very short. They don't, and I mean Vegeta's a short character to begin with, but SH Figure Arts run on the short side, and it is a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. But the paintwork on this, because I guess they started using a new factory in Vietnam, and they got to work on some quality control. Because I don't know if it could pick it up on the camera. This arm is a different shade of blue than the rest of the figure. I don't know if y'all can tell that from there. And there's a few like paintwork uh bits here and there that are a little sketchy. But I mean, to me at least, to get this aesthetic, I mean, it was worth it. The face sculpts, I mean, the face sculpts are always, oop, come on. The face sculpts have always been really good. Come on, focus, damn you. Focus. Eh, you're gonna be difficult today. SH Figure Art edited there in Tamashi. If am I crazy? I think they're the same. I want to say they're like Tamashi. I think they make SH Figure Arts, don't they? Maybe I'm sure. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure it's Tamashi. Yeah, because Tamashi has all of the like the upcoming pre-order stuff for SH Figure Arts. So I'm assuming they're somehow affiliated, because that's how I hear all the stuff through Instagram. It's from Tamashi Nation's Instagram page. So, but the I don't have it next to me. Damn, I forgot to grab it. But he's got a crossed arms section, and uh there's some really bad paint stuff on it, and mismatched blues. So, and if you take the faceplates off, they redesigned their faceplates so that if you this is a new body style for them. So all the old face sculpts you have, they won't work with this new body. So it's a little kind of it's a little knife twist, I guess. At least for me, because I didn't know they had redesigned like the face. I had always heard, oh, the shoulders are all redesigned and the aesthetic, because I guess the shoulder, the new movement allows it to go like crazy high up like that. Um, but I didn't know they redesigned the innards for the head. And this is similar to Figma. And I'm not a fan of that. And because it's very hard to swap the actual head, because it's got that joint in there. And he's got little to no upward head movement. Like that's it. So it is what it is. Like I hope they get that quality under control. And yeah, I can't use the old heads because it's a different mechanism inside there, because the old heads are kind of they're just a kind of a typical action figure. I wish I had one next to me. Um oh, I do have this Luffy. Um so they have just kind of a normal ball and socket thing. It's just like smaller than a Marvel Legends, but it is just a normal ball and socket that's up and down. But this thing has a damn joint, right? I don't know if you can see it right in there. And it makes the head, when it's supposed to be on properly, it sits like this, and that makes it for a pain to swap the heads. But that also means that the way they attach the faces is totally different as far as the old stuff versus this new body. So it's kind of a bummer. But I think they did that simply because there's been a lot of third party people making Dragon Ball figures, which I mean I totally get it, that's but if that was your reason, they can just make a new head sculpt or headpiece to I don't think they're gonna solve anything with by doing it that way, but it's whatever. I'm not a company. Clearly. But let's see. You can go over here. You can go over here. Okay. Now, we're gonna get into the stuff I got from Ayo Frankie. And because it was my birthday a couple last week. Yeah, last weekend. He hooked me up. He knows, and some of you guys know, my favorite Batman movie, hands down, of all time. I don't care how shitty people say it is, I will die on this hill, is Batman Forever. I love that movie to death. That is my favorite. It is a horrible, perfect movie. Especially when it comes to Batman. I think what that movie did with bringing like the campiness of like the cartoon stuff to the live screen like in a perfect way, because a lot of the shenanigans they get up to in that it seems like it's pulled straight out of a campy comic book or a campy cartoon. Like it's insane. And Son of a Cran Slayer, I'm not the biggest fan of 89. I don't know why. I can't put my finger on it. It's, as I say, it could be because I'm 92. I was born in 92, so maybe that's it. And this was the first Batman movie I saw. So because I saw this movie before 89, and I was like, oh, I didn't know this was the third movie. So Ayo Frankie hooked me up with the Riddler for my birthday, and I was just like, and Jim Carrey as the Riddler is just pure gold. Like it is ridiculous. Like I can't, but it's so good. And this figure, it's not the best. This is like the worst case of like rubbery plastic. Like look at this. Look at this. Look at this nonsense. Like come on. Come on. What are we doing? Come on, Todd. But this is an easy fix. Oh, come on, camera, stop it. And the face sculpt is great. I wish it came with a couple, like a maybe a different one or maybe some more hands, but it's McFarlane, whatever. It is what it is. But Ayo Frankie, I don't know if you're watching, bro. I appreciate this. This is one of the best things ever. So yeah, there's that. I will always show love for Batman Forever. Of the first three, 89, Returns, and Forever, Batman and Robin really dropped the ball. Yes. I think Batman and Robin is like when they almost like Thor Love and Thunder situation where yeah, the previous film, Thor Ragnarok, made like a lot of, headway with their type of comedy, and it was for some people, it wasn't for some of you, I don't know. But that movie was successful, and I would say that for Batman Forever, at least for that time, was pretty successful. I mean, the soundtrack alone, people to this day eat up the soundtrack. I eat it up. But and I think especially with like Thor Love and Thunder and Batman and Robin, they like tried to emulate what happened previously and they failed miserably. Uh so yeah, that's and I think that's the result. Although I watch it probably like once a year or so, simply just for Arnold as Mr. Freeze. If he wasn't in this movie, I wouldn't watch it at all. But just for Arnold being cast as Mr. Freeze and his stupid puns, I it's at least watchable for me because of him. I was born 86 forever. That's the first understood and enjoyed it. Yeah. I say yeah, but those movies do something. Then depending on which one, you were kind of born into, that usually tends to be your favorite. The one I hate the most from those original, I I have to go with Batman Returns. I am just not a fan of it. I Michelle Pfeiffer, at least for me, is carrying that movie. Like she is carrying all the weight of that movie. And Danny DeVito Penguin. Those two, awesome. And of course Alfred, awesome. Actually the whole cast is great, actually. It's just like the story and just Tim Burton, and I don't know. So I don't care for it. I don't know what it is specifically. It's just not for me. It's just not for me. I know I'm gonna get it from somebody who's like, hey, that's just the best one ever. Like, that's okay. That's okay. I'm sorry. I know I just hurt your child. It's okay. Yeah, footage, non neon drenched campiness. Yeah, and a hush production over reliance on merchandising. Yeah, they did crazy merchandising for at least Forever and Batman and Robin. I don't remember a ton of merchandising for the first two, or at least hearing about it because I wasn't around back then. But I don't remember hearing about a ton of merchandise as I did with Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. It's like those McDonald's cups, like those were everywhere. You couldn't like people had like collections of them. Grandmas had collections of them. Like, geez, like you got grandmas collecting your stuff. Like, dude, I mean, you did something. And then they tried to do it with Batman and Robin. It's just like, we have those already, kind of. But it is what it is. Let's see. The next one I got from Ayo Frankie. I know I love me some Godzilla. Frankie knows this. Um, I have a Godzilla on the way. Frankie knows this. And so he purchased something that he may have bitten off more than he could chew. He didn't have room for it. And he's like, hey, Smudge, you want this? I know you got a Godzilla coming. I know you got a collection starting for Godzilla stuff. You want this King Ghidorah? And I was just like, maybe. Shit, I can't even get this all in frame. Good lord. This guy is big. This thing, he's big. He big. Look at him. He is big. Like, good lord. He is a beefy boy. I mean, there's not much to it when it comes to paint. I might do a wash or something, but he just all he's got to do is stand there, and he does take up a lot of real estate, but he'll go great with the Godzilla I got coming. So yeah, yeah, he's up on the shelf looking out, all intimidating, judging me every day. Oh yeah, yeah. This is just ridiculous. That's as close as I can get it. Yeah, this thing is huge. Oh, the back, yeah, the frisbee lids. Yes, yes, I remember those. That's crazy. Yeah, hell yeah. This Ghidorah is awesome. Not much you can do with it other than just him standing there, but you can pose the heads a bunch of different ways and the tail poses. So I mean, it's great for some. I have some cool photography ideas, so we'll see what happens with that. But until then, he's going to sit up on the shelf and continue to judge me every day. And the final figure I got from AO Frankie. Again, I'm a huge Dragon Ball Z fan, and one of the big bads in that show, if you're familiar, Broly. Uh, and this is, oh, geez, he's too big too. Good lord, damn, he's too big. But this figure is from a third-party company, ZT Toys, and this thing has, for a figure this big, he's got crazy posability. Uh, and for how heavy he is, because he's heavy. He probably weighs as much as that Ghidorah, at least. And for the amount of posing he can get into, even with this kind of plastic skirt in the way, it does really good. And and the face sculpts are really, God, this stupid camera's gonna. I promise quality's gonna go up from here. I promise. It can only go up. The only next step down is it turning off, like it did for the split second earlier. But the face sculpts are on point. Like, this is there. Oh, come on, you just had it. You just had it. Stop that. What are you doing? Oh my god, this is irritating. Okay, I guess that's kind of it. Okay. But there's that, and it's the head sculpts are accurate. The colors aren't the greatest, but I can easily work with that. Um, there are some issues with it, but at least for me, I was willing to overlook them. There's some quality control issues for sure. Um, and let's see, where'd it go? There's paint splotches all over this one. I know I saw them on here. Oh, there we go. If you look right in here, there's two big yellow splotches right there. There's a couple others kind of dotted around the figure. I don't know why. Um, these arms, they pop off really easily, or they used to. I had to mod it, but uh they they have a folded arms piece, and they can pop off really easily. And what I had to do was go in here and sand out all of this negative space here just for it to fit on properly, because his freaking shoulders are too big to, like, fully, for the joint to fully sit in there. So that was kind of a pain. Like, I don't see how that made it past quality control. Um so that was both of them. There's an effect piece that it comes with, and it comes with a ton of hands and a ton of face plates. Let me get my box of goodies. Like we got like the folded arm piece, like that just pops in there. And it same thing with this. It's kind of a pain to put on. I'm not gonna bother with it, but you know I'm sure it's out there for someone likes it out there. Ton of hands, tons of face plates, like, and they're really high quality face plates. Like these are up there with the ones that SH Figure Arts does. Like these are really good head sculpts here, or face sculpts, whatever they are, face plates. The only issue with these is the tolerance, and also the hair could be considered a weapon. This stuff is sharp. Like this is sharp. You could stab somebody with this. Ah, that hurt. But how the face works on this is I don't know if this is based on a SH Figure Arts figure or what, but this comes off and you got the faceplate here, and the tolerance for the face to plug in here is really tight. Like it technically doesn't fit, but you kind of have to squeeze the head sculpt kind of in at just the right angle, and it kind of has to push its way in there. But you know, like I said, I was willing to overlook these because I mean, he's big. Broly's a big dude, and he can pose like There's some Marvel Legends that don't pose this good. Like, look at that back arch. Oh come on, don't do this, camera. Oh, I suppose it'd help if you could see. Like the back arch, like come on, that's pretty good. And the crunch down, that's pretty good for a beefy boy. I'll just keep the arm on. No, these arms were really irritating. Are really irritating. Good lord. Come on. Come on. There we go. It's got double knees. Like, this is crazy. Like, he can't get, you know, the most range because of the plastic skirt here, but it's crazy how much they could do with a figure this big. And he's got does he have the squishy chest? I thought he did. Yeah, it is squishy. Yeah, so he's got a little bit of a squishy chest. Yeah, he's got freaking butterflies, not double, but he's got a 90-degree elbow. I'd call that 90. Almost 90. One useless thing that I was actually kind of excited for is these energy ball effect things, and it is a clusterfuck. It looks cool in theory, but what it is, it's supposed to, you're supposed to plug these pieces in, and it looks really cool, but it doesn't stay together because these things just don't want to cooperate and stay actually in the piece. Let me see if I can find one real quick. Okay, is that one? Yeah. I need to find the other one. There we go. But yeah, it kind of goes together like this, and it surrounds the energy ball, but it doesn't. This one stays in, but there's like three of them that are just like loose. They just don't stay in. And the problem is you could glue it, but then you'd have to put the hand in there that holds it because it's a specific hand. But once the hand is in there, you can't get it onto the figure. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. Like, yeah, you have that, but you can't use it really. So it's whatever. I'm not mad about it. Hey, Quentin, what's happening? Thanks for stopping by. You are just in time because I am done rambling about my figures I got, and we're gonna get into some painting because that's what I like to do. So thanks for stopping by, Quentin. Now, I had I'll be right back because I didn't even bring my figure out here. Hold on one second. Talk amongst yourselves. Ooh, okay. Now, we have this Daredevil figure. And it is, or it was like this. I went ahead and got some of it done because I kind of wanted to finish this today. But it's just plain bright red. And I just don't like that. I need some depth in there. So I started this and wow, that's really glossy. I didn't realize how glossy that was. Good Lord. I had started on this. Come on, camera, stop that. But once a matte clear goes on it, you know, it turns flat, so there's no need to worry about that. I got most of the shading done on this side, and I kind of started it on here. But the end result is gonna look kind of like this, and I don't know if the camera's picking it up too well, but it's hints of like yellows and oranges a little bit, that are just kind of barely peeking through. And I like that depth, and I like to do that with the customs I do, because I just don't like flat paint. It bugs me. I don't know. Just finished watching Figure Fight Club, voting on wrestlers. Oh, nice. Yes, I'd go on there, but I know nothing about wrestling. I know absolutely nothing about it. Yeah, it just wasn't on in my house, so I don't know. I like I said, I know who John Cena is. I recognize some names, but that's about all you get from me. Like I know who Hulk Hogan is. That's all I got. Rhea Ripley, she's hot. That's all I know. That's the extent of my knowledge. um, and I got, what else did I do? I got the leg, most of the way there, and we are just going to continue on. And this was, I kind of challenged myself on this one because one, Hobby Lobby didn't have my paints, and I ran out of my paints. So I picked up some ink, some of this Amsterdam ink, and I've been trying it out. It's not bad. It's pretty thin. It goes through an airbrush nice. But that doesn't help because my other part to challenge myself was I didn't want to use an airbrush. So it's not because, you know, I don't have my airbrush stuff set up out here yet. So just don't think too deep about it. But yeah, so that's what we're gonna be doing. And I'm just get into it because I want this thing done. And I had already mixed some of this up. But essentially what I'm gonna be doing, and if y'all have questions, you know, shout them out in the chat. I'm an open book when it comes to customizing and painting, because I don't like the gatekeeping thing that some people do. It's I I just don't see why. I mean, if let's see, I need glove. Yeah, I don't like the gatekeeping because it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, and a guy I used to um who I kind of shadowed under, I guess. he had always said, you know, I and I asked him, I was like, why are you? Because I learned about a lot of airbrushing from him, and he I let's see, what did I ask? Like, why are you so willing to like teach me and other people? Because he had like a Facebook page and he was doing live streams, and um he was just crazy willing to help people. And I had run into some airbrush people here in my local town, oddly enough, and they were the gatekeeping type. They didn't want to tell me anything. Um I was kind of taken aback by it, and he just said, you know, there's no point in me gatekeeping. Like, I can teach you all I want. If you can't do it and like apply yourself, like that's on you. Like, no one can do me better than me. And that man could paint. Um, Sadly, he did die right as COVID started. Um, I think his page is still up. But he was a crazy talented airbrush artist. Mike LaValle, here that was in Washington State, and if you want to look it up, it's the original Killer Paint on Facebook and Instagram, and he was a phenomenal painter. But he did a lot of automotive cars, bikes, uh, fire. That was his thing. He's the one who like perfected how to airbrush fire. Not like the taped out flames on hot rods, but like fire. Uh, so that was really cool to get to learn that under him. Um, but yeah, gatekeeping, nah, because it was a nightmare for me myself. Simply, just to look up stuff, because this was an era where, especially growing up, because their YouTube wasn't a thing, we couldn't just readily type in how to do this. And I had all these ideas in my head, you know, like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this, but I have no idea how or where to start, or am I in over my head, you know, type of thing. And I just had no idea what to do. So I just couldn't do anything with it. Um so if I can help like someone like break through that, that's that's all I need. That's all I'm here for. Because you shouldn't be afraid to paint your figures, um, and make them, you know, make them your own. Uh, I think that's really cool to do. What brand of paintbrush is that? This one I got from this one I got. This was I think I got on Amazon. It's a Fumui Fumui. I think that's what it says. Um, but yeah, they got a nice point to them. I've had them for probably 6 months, give or take. They're really good. They hold paint well. They're really nice. Um, and let's see. Oh, okay. And right now, all I'm doing is getting a dark, essentially a dark wash or a dark contrast paint kind of going on. Because at least right now, the goal is to deepen the red, and get this paint into the nooks and crannies, um, so that when I come on top with the lighter colors, um, it'll stand out. Building some Cobra-like characters like Python and Royal Guard, the Raiders, Real Kid Trash is my bread and butter. That's awesome. Like I got crazy into GI Joe just, I think, late last year or mid last year, give or take. Um, I had grown. I grew up with GI Joe. Like, I knew about it, but I never like sat down and watched it. Um, and because it was ruined for me by the movie with Cold Slither, or no, not the movie, the show, the special or show, whatever it was. It was Cold Slither, and I was just kind of sitting there watching it as a kid. I was like, this is dumb. And then I saw the movie, and Cobra, la, 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 la. I was just like, nah, nah, I'm gonna go put something else on. So I like avoided, I didn't like avoid, but I was just like, it's just GI Joe, it's whatever. um but getting into like the action figures and stuff like that, I kind of got into army building a little bit, or not army, military figures. And I was just like, shit, I gotta give GI Joe a try. And then I got some, I was like, dude, these are awesome. So yeah, I got bit by the GI Joe bug last year. um and it kind of sucks because I'm like in the process of rearranging everything, and I haven't had my Joes on display for like a good 5 or 6 months, I think. Um, so they're like itching to get back out on the shelf. So I'll be real happy when I get to do that again. There's the other leg. Let's see here. Oh, I suppose I should do that. But and this isn't a black wash. Uh let's see. I custom painted a Burger King DBZ Vegeta figure and some duplicates. Oh, sick. Yeah, I remember those Dragon Ball figures from Burger King. I think I had that Vegeta one at one point, but it just wasn't meant to be. Unfortunate. That's cool though. And some of the duplicate Transformers. Yeah, it's been so long since we've had like cool stuff like that as like toys, and like, because but nowadays they don't do anything near as like cool as that. And for the toys from oh yeah, I got Valaverse. I should have mentioned Valaverse is what got me into army building, which got me into Joe's. Um and what got me into Valaverse was Avi from Figure Fight Club, king of the giveaways. Uh and because I got um what was it? The Steel Brigade the pink Steel Brigade figure. And as soon as I got it, and I was just like, dude, this is cool. And then I got a couple others and a couple others, and then I got a Vanguard, and now we're at the black, and it's just crazy. And I eventually do want to paint up my Vanguard as something. I don't know what yet, but but yeah, yeah, Valverse is cool what he's doing with the black, and I hope it didn't sound like he was going to, but I hope he does more with the like the mythology of the black, because that's just such a cool idea, and it's a cool figure to just have as a one-off. Like, oh, he's a random bad guy, but it's such a cool figure. I hope he does something with more along those lines, or just something. um don't get me wrong, Action Force and the rest of the black, they're cool, but something about that black figure, the skull guy, not Blackbeard. Blackbeard's cool too, don't get me wrong, but pirate stuff, yeah, that's cool. He should do more of that. I have yet to receive my Blackbeard or Malice, so sounds like there's some shipping delays or something, because this happened last time when the original uh black figure got released. Like, there was some, not that there were issues, but it was um what was it? It was like, oh, him and Jeremy were still at like a convention for that weekend or something, and they couldn't do anything until they had gotten back or something along those lines. I don't know, but I'm sure we'll get it eventually. So my cousin painted toys on my channel. Oh, nice. One a mythic, Legion's horse on one of obvious version. Nice. Yeah, he gives away some cool shit. I won. Oh, it's also because of Obby that I got into the Street Fighter line, because especially before, um I didn't branch out much until, because no one in my town collects stuff like this, and because I'm in a small town, like super small. It takes like 15 minutes if there was no traffic to drive from one end of town to the other. Like we live in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. There is nobody else here doing this shit except for me and like Frankie and like maybe two or three other people that I don't know. But so I started collecting statues. Um and then it expanded to Gundam, and that happened because I was into airbrushing and I could build those. I love building things. And Frankie was the one who convinced me to like just start Marvel Legends, just go with that. And since then I've just been branching out like crazy. And it was because of Avi that I got into the Street Fighter line, and because I won Chun Li on his live stream. Um, what else did I win on there? Um, oh, the Steel Brigade 2.0 with like the chrome head or something like that. And I got uh I bought the Praetorian Fury when that came out. I didn't get the blue variant, but he's still cool though. He'll do more background once he locks down the new comic artist. Sweet. That's good to hear. Because I hope he knows how cool of a thing that is, and I imagine it took him by surprise to see that many people were interested in that, because um everyone I've talked to about it, they said they were blown away, and I'm just like, yeah, dude, like I didn't expect this. So it was a breath of fresh air, so to speak. um and yeah, if he's got plans for it in the future, I'm somewhat patient. uh but yeah, if he's aware of that and just like how cool of an idea that is, like that, it'd just be cool to expand on. And a lot of other people are doing pirates too. You got the Corsair creations. Those look super cool. Can't wait to get my hands on those. um they got a lot of One Piece stuff coming. They're finally releasing more of the season 1 figures, like we've been kind of screaming at them for SHF or SH Figure Arts. So that's awesome, and that's probably only because of the Netflix show. I imagine they would have taken their sweet time releasing these figures. So I think we're going to call that good for that first layer. And now you can see this half is still darker. I have to come back in with the orange and then glaze the red again to get it to this state. And then it's going to be it's a lot of back and forth for this type of thing. So we're going to move on to the leg. We're just going to let that sit over there for a second. Let's see. And this is I didn't do anything crazy like joint prep work or anything like that with this. This is just I washed it. Wash your figures, folks. They're dirty. They've been dirty. They need to be washed and cleansed. But to get that mold release off, and I sprayed a matte clear, just so the paint can have something, to grab onto. If I was doing a color change, yeah, got to get the joints out, sand them, prime it. But in this case, since it's still going to be red by the time I'm done with it, and a similar shade of red to what's already in here, there's no need to. At least in my opinion, there's no need to. It work. I try to think I like to think that I work smarter, not harder, but it 50-50 whether that actually happens or not. Why is that beating up like that? I don't like that. Why is it doing that? That means it wasn't clean enough or something. Oh, just get this all into the crevices. So usually when it beads up like this, that means it's it wasn't either prepped correctly after I just went on and on about how much I prepped it. Or something got on it of some time of some kind because it's not wanting to adhere to the plastic when it beads up like that. So usually you get one coat down and it kind of acts almost as a primer. And now it's going on super smooth. So it's a little strange sometimes. And I did use a different type of primer that I don't normally use, but I thought it would have worked the same because it's the same brand. I use a Krylon flat clear, and I didn't think it would make that big of a difference because usually I get the what is it, the 2K Krylon. I don't remember what the exact one is, but it was slightly different than what I normally use. And I was like, oh, it's the same brand. It's still a flat clear. It should do the same. Apparently not. So I guess bear that in mind if you guys are going to attempt something like this. Ooh, there's a little bit down there. Yeah, this deep red it's gonna look really good. And it's just building up a bunch of layers slowly, and I don't know if anybody who hasn't been here the whole time, if you want to see something, just let me know. But that's gonna be the end result. But it was one of the hardest things to learn for me because the way I was taught airbrushing by Mike was he had a very quick style to where he can knock out a full flame job probably in like 4 hours, like from the start of him touching the paint until he finishes in 4 hours. That is fast work. That's not including like color and the main color of the vehicle, just the airbrushing. But I got really good at his style, and that kind of worked against me when it came to this type of stuff. Because I wanted to go fast, like I was kind of taught to do. And one of the hardest things to learn was to slow down and build up these paint layers slowly. Because if you go too fast, it's not going to give you the result that you want. Any second hand use vintage TMNT Motu figures that I find? Yeah. Oh, speaking of Motu, last night on Men on Films over at Talib 1986 channel. Go check him out on Saturday nights. I have the 40th anniversary He-Man because I painted my Battle Cat, which I should actually get the Battle Cat. Hold on. This guy's cool as hell. I love me some He-Man. There we go. Look at that bad boy. Yeah. So I painted that one up, and uh and of course, because I have the 40th anniversary figure for He-Man, and one of the biggest things that bugs me, it's not a bad figure at all. It Two things that bug me about it. One is the face sculpt. I don't know what it is about Motu figures, but they just cannot, at least in my opinion, they cannot get the face sculpt right. I don't know what it is, but they always look so weird. And like this is like the least weird looking head sculpt, and I can deal with this one. It's not my favorite, but it is what it is. But one of the biggest thing that bugs me is, you got to have him holding the sword up there, but he can't look up. So I last night I was screwing around with the neck joint back there and extended it so he can actually look up at his sword now. So that was cool. But yeah, the Battle Cat. Yeah, this thing's cool as hell. I love this thing. Big Tiger. Hell yeah, sign me up. And of course, you gotta. I say I'm a fan of this one. Um, I almost got the other version that was released like a year or two before, and because Ao Frankie had gotten it, and I saw it, and I saw the face on that one, I'm just like, eek. I don't know if that's for me. But yeah, this thing definitely looks good. I wish there was a little more articulation. I might mess around with that later in the future, but he looks pretty up on the shelf. And when He-Man's done, uh, he'll definitely look good next to him. And I do have Skeletor in the wings that'll go with him too. Uh, so yeah, that'll be happening eventually. Beautiful, beautiful kitty. Thank you. If I one thing, it's yeah. As a yeah, it's really weird when you're so used to going a certain pace and you have to be forced to slow down. It it's really strange. Okay. I need some like background music or something. I wish I would have figured that out. And if anyone is curious, because I know I kind of hated it. I know a lot of us that do YouTube um, do StreamYard, and it's crazy expensive and it's stupid, but it has pretty much like all the features that we need for this type of thing. But I am not using StreamYard today. I am using OBS, and I don't have it set up at the moment because it's on a different profile. Um, I hadn't set that one up, but I can do all of the same stuff in StreamYard on OBS for free. Um, if I were to be so inclined to do a wet fart sound. Or say someone, Zakanan does his, little pose, I can
Gay!
wait, I don't think it did it not do it? Oh, maybe it did. But yeah, you can do all that type of stuff. I can bring up comments. I only have the chat overlay here just because I don't want to have to keep going from paint to chat, paint to paint to chat to bring stuff up. So it's easier, a little easier this way. But I can bring chats up just like StreamYard can. But I think the only reason people don't do OBS is it is all. You've got to be kidding me! Stop that stupid camera. I really got to get that figured out. It wasn't doing this yesterday. or the day before. So I had tested all of this yesterday, and it wasn't doing anything. It wasn't giving me no lip at all. But no, of course today with the full thing happening, now it's gonna do it. I am a wizard, aren't I? It's the beard. I think the beard helps. Although it's much shorter than normal. It was just getting in the way. I had to trim it. Like I was painting one day and my beard got into the paint and I was just like, ah shit, this as soon as it gets in the way, that's when I trim it. I mean, it takes like 2 or 3 years to get in the way, but it gets there. Okay. I'll say this is just kind of a long process of building it up slowly. I mean, you could go in with like a really thick paint and just do this all in one hit, but it's not going to have like the same clean look. It's going to look like you literally slopped it together. So I want to avoid that. And I have done that in the past. So I'd like to avoid those mistakes again. Shit. Okay. When I backwash, dark wash, water down paint. Yep. Yep, hair dryer. The only reason I am not using a hair dryer is because I don't want this to pool in certain areas like it normally would. Um and it's also because I haven't used this stuff very much before, so I don't know off the top of my head how it behaves yet. So this is the best way, at least for me, to use it like this and feel, I guess, confident that it's not going to do anything weird on me. Um, like I don't know if it's going to split or pool up um under certain conditions and whatnot, and I'd rather not um do at least the hair dryer yet, or at least allow the paint to pool like that yet until I've got a firm grasp on these types of paints. Um, which these types of paints, at least for me, won't last much longer. Because I've got a set coming. It's just Amazon's taking its sweet time. I figured since like okay, I just got to get new paints now. I might as well get a set. So I've got some pro acrylic stuff coming, and because I've always wanted to use them. So I was strictly a Vallejo guy for the longest time, simply because that's what my Hobby Lobby carried. And now that they don't anymore, and the new shit they have is fucking awful. I tried it, and I was just like, this stuff is straight garbage. Um, so I've got that stuff coming, but it is. I don't think it's even shipped yet. But the stuff they're doing with what is it, the one step and whatever other stuff they got, it looks good. A lot of people recommend it, so I'm gonna give it a shot and spend a bunch of money on them. Okay, I'm gonna call that one good for now, and we are going to move on to the next one. And all I'm gonna do, I'm gonna mix up a reddish orange, and all I'm gonna do is throw a little bit of water in this because this is ink. Um, it doesn't. It's already pretty thin. If I wanted to make this like like an actual paint, I would need to add a bunch of um what's this shit called? A medium? God, it's like the 12th brain fart of the night. Good lord. Uh, and I'm not trying to make like an actual like paint out of this. This is just it just needs to be thin, almost like a glaze or a wash. Not quite a contrast paint, but not quite the other either. It's kind of a weird gray area I like to paint in with these. Um, I was like, the way I was taught and how I like to paint in general is from dark to light. Um, but through the years, I've picked up some other things where if you start from a white base or something, but in this case, we're starting from a red base, so it's a little bit different. Um, and just so, and the reason I'm painting on my glove is I can kind of see if I paint over that red, I can see how that orange is going to look on the figure a little bit. Since it's not showing up very much, I'm going to add just a skosh, just a skosh of white, just to get it just a little bit of opacity in there, just like a drop. Don't need much. I don't want this to turn like a bright uh, thing, even though it is going to be a brighter shade. I don't want it too bright because there's still going to be another thin layer on top of this of another color. So there we go, much better. And now you can actually kind of see that over the dark red. Get all the excess paint off of there. And where should I start? Let's just start down here. Make sure the belt's out of the way. All right, and I don't, camera's kind of picking up a lot of stuff here, but it doesn't, I think what it's picking up, okay. It looks a lot more intense on the camera than it does to the naked eye. So it's a little strange. It might look a little strange on your guys' end, but it do be looking good. I almost want to add a little bit of medium to it. Just to give it just a skosh of opacity. And maybe just one more drop. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. And it's probably going to look a lot brighter to you guys in the camera. Black wash or dark wash, I watered down the paint. Oh, yeah, I just read that. Darn. For most of the things I've done, I don't like to use a black wash personally. I find that usually this is weird painting like this. I find most of the time black is too harsh. And it's a little too intense. Uh it's great for a lot of things, but especially when it comes to like stuff like this. I don't like to use like straight black anything. Um like the wash I've been applying, it's dark, it's like a dark burgundy, reddish burgundy color, kind of. And yeah, it I guess it's just something from um I guess learning to airbrush, I guess the way I did. Um, but it just never. I guess it kind of got uh like a bad habit, kind of, I guess. Um, and I had several of the artists I was talking to at the time with that. They kind of showed me some things, and they're like, "Oh yeah, don't use straight black because you know this." And at the time, I didn't really kind of piece it all together, but eventually it clicked. And black is just it's too harsh. Um, it's too much. Let's see. It's kind of weird painting like this. Yeah, the painting live is a little new to me, but eventually we'll get there. Eventually. As in, I'm just going over the areas I want brought out. A little more detail. Yeah, that looks crazy bright on the camera. I don't know why. Maybe it's something with the white balance or something. I don't know. But slowly but surely. As I saw He-Man a couple nights ago, I didn't mind it. Like it's extremely like cheesy and like kind of dumb, but that's kind of He-Man. That's kind of that show in general. Like it's kind of goofy. It doesn't take itself super seriously, and I'm kind of glad they kind of went that way. So I I was fine with it. I heard some people like really ripping on it at that where I work, and I think it was like a lot of like the old head purist type kind of mentality that's who was talking about it, and I'm just like, it's not that well. I don't think it was that bad, but that's just me, I guess. I should probably paint and frame, huh? Yeah, using these inks is interesting. They dry very glossy. I'm so used to Vallejo where they dry really matte. But we'll get our we'll get our pro acrylic stuff eventually. Where the painted plastic becomes tacky. For some baking soda on. Oh, huh. Curious. So Quentin, that's curious. So when your figures painted plastic becomes tacky, I'll dry brush some baking soda on it. Now, when you say the paint is tacky, I guess at what point are you at? Like if I were at this stage and this paint was still tacky, that is that when you would do it? I'm curious. Because normally, at least in my experience with paint, if it's still tacky, um, that's like an adhesion problem, and like you like use the wrong type of paint on a plastic. Because I've run into that when, I'll use like an enamel paint on a plastic figure, or a ton of lacquer paint on a figure, or something, or the wrong type of plastic or something. Um, so I am curious, and by all means, if you guys want to suggest me to do things, a certain way, I'm not opposed to, if someone knows a better way, I am all for it. Uh I'm all for new ideas. Um, there's always gonna be a different or better way to do something, and different doesn't mean wrong. Yeah, a few days after, yeah, yeah, because I the other day, uh, not the other day. What am I saying? One of the first figures I painted, I used Mr. Hobby primer on. Um, it was a Thanos, and Mr. Hobby is a lacquer based primer, and until the last day that Thanos lasted with me, he was sticky. He never dried. Like that's crazy. Got a little too much orange there. Just a little bit. There we go. Yeah, it's always kind of, it's frustrating when you don't know like why something's not working, especially when it comes to like the paint primer compatibility type stuff. And growing up, that sucked. I didn't know it was a thing. I had no idea what I was doing wrong. I think the first thing I tried to like spray paint was um the old Xbox 360 covers. They could come off, and I tried to paint mine, or the first one, my first Xbox cover, and it did not turn out well. I used the wrong type of stuff. Um, I didn't wait for things to fully cure, and I got lots of fisheye and lots of solvent pop and all that type of stuff. Oh, I should paint in frame, huh? Damn it, Smudge. But we are here for mistakes. All of them. Gloss time to spray a rubbery plastic. Yeah. Yeah, certain types of plastics just don't like certain types of paint. It's something with the I remember learning about it at one point because I went to school for collision repair, and there was a whole thing about um there's a specific type of primer that you got to use for plastic bumpers, depending on the type of plastic they use, and it kind of varies, and you always have to check, oh, is it this type of plastic, is it this type of plastic. Warhammer paints over most, the Pro Krill, and I think Duncan, they're pretty nice too. Yeah, I've got some of the Citadel paints. I think half of why I don't really like them is, well, it's just three things I don't like. One, the price. They're expensive as hell. And the paint cup, I can't stand that paint cup. I don't know. I'm not a fan of it. And they because the paint always seems to just like dry up inside there. Like I've got uh, I've had Vallejo paints that I've had for years still good. Like I don't know what it is about the Citadel paint cups. And I haven't used any of their contrast paints. I probably will try some at one point, but I can just make my own. Um, and I'm sure like, oh, it's not the same, but yeah. So yeah, I'm glad I'm not the only one. I hate those pots too. Okay, that makes me feel a little better. I'm not crazy. Um, but yeah, Warhammer paint is super expensive, and the good paints, because like I just try to get stuff through Amazon, like I just want stuff to be available for me. And a lot of the paints that I would get, or at least the ones that I tried to get at one point while I was trying to work with those, like, yeah, they're just expensive. They're hard to find. And locally, I try to get my stuff locally if I can. And the one Warhammer shop here in town that sells that type of stuff has the dumbest hours where he's only open from like Tuesday through Thursday at like 2 p.m. He opens and he stays open till like 7 or 8 or something like that. And I work night shift. And I was like, shit, I could never get there. But and I have nothing against the quality of the paint. There was always just a lot of hoops to jump through to get that paint. And eventually I just gave up on it. Okay. I think we can call that good on that side. Okay. Let's get a little more up here. I think I might have another one of these Daredevils coming in because this one, and kind of the reason I chose to do this one for my first real painting stream was because this one came busted. Uh, so I emailed Hasbro, and I think they're sending me a replacement. It came with a cracked torso, and I thought I fixed it, and oops, I see some bits I haven't painted. Um, I thought I fixed it because I glued it. You know, everything looked good. Oh, that's the other side. God damn. Um, yeah, I thought I fixed it, and I was moving it around or something, and it just busted. This whole leg assembly piece just shot out, and so I glued it back in there again, and I emailed Hasbro, and I was just like, I need another one. Like, I need something. Like, this came out the box like this. Like, come on, do better. But we'll see. We will see. And we're gonna start on the leg now. I appreciate y'all sticking around. I had no idea if anybody was gonna show up. Uh, just me rambling to myself, just painting shit. I appreciate y'all showing up. I've seen Turbo Dork. Yeah, I've seen those too. It has some pretty wild effects. Local fantasy shop, but mine is open. Not for car playing people. Yeah, I was like, we used to have a place that people would play cards at, and it closed down. It was a Hastings. I don't know if anybody else has that. I know it's some kind of company chain or something, but it closed down. They had all the cool stuff there. They closed down like I want to say like 7 to 10 years years ago, give or take. God, it's been. I'm old. I don't like it. I'm getting old. I don't like it. I don't want to accept it. Um, but yeah, it always seemed when I tried to get into those Warhammer paints, there was always something, some kind of hoop to jump through, and I was just like, it's just not meant to be. I still do have a few Vallejo paints, so I mean, I'm never gonna like fully get rid of them. I just didn't have any of like the reds, the oranges, yellows. I have plenty of blues and greens, but yeah, there's still some Vallejo paints I totally swear by. Like their metal paints. Vallejo is like as far as like acrylic paints go for metal and like metal different effects. Vallejo, in my opinion, is the undisputed champ of that type of paint because they have a couple different kinds, but they are, in my opinion, the undisputed champ of that type of stuff. Hey, I appreciate it, Quentin. That's all I'm trying to do is to take all this knowledge festering up here and throw it in someone else's face. Hey man, I appreciate it. I always like finding new paints and techniques and stuff like that, and I was blown away with some of the ever since I was turned on to them, the Pro Acryl. I've been watching their YouTube channel a lot, and some of the stuff you can do seems like it's really really good. So I'm really stoked. Hope they ship that soon. So I can't wait. I'm a sucker for some paint. I'm a whore. A whore. Because I've seen a lot of people take these black lines off on this Daredevil figure. I don't mind them. I do kind of wish they were the lighter ones, but I wouldn't say I dislike them enough to try and remove them. But I think it was because of the Secret Wars toy, I guess. I didn't have those growing up, so I didn't really have like an attachment or dislike to them. So, but it's all good. Why are you beating up like that? I don't like that. I don't like that. Yeah, we'll find something one day. Because I do have a bunch of Warhammer that I need to paint. Because me and my brother, we're trying to get into it, but it just hasn't happened. Other stuff keeps coming up, so we're trying to do it eventually. Like we've got the army, our starter armies, uh, and they're in primer. At least mine are. I don't know about his, but mine are in primer. But they just kind of sat on the shelf for the past like 3 or 4 months. But yeah, eventually I'll paint them. Warhammer is crazy, like detail. Like you want to be humbled, and you're some kind of painter. Paint some Warhammer for the first time like that. I went in there all kinds of cocky, and I was just like, shit, I got this. I'm a painter. I know what to do. Damn, this is small. It was humbling to say the least. Oh, and I have that. My first one I painted. Well, okay, I shouldn't say it was the first one. It was the first figure for Warhammer that I painted after I had gained a little bit of experience under it. So it's like my first good one. I'll grab that because it is right over. Meow. I think. Yep. Here it is. I think this was like last year sometime. But yeah, it's definitely it's definitely fun. It's also an expensive hobby. Like these, whew, this it is the most expensive hobby like I have ever come across. Like even like collecting toys, that's nothing compared to Warhammer. Like you see someone roll up with a giant Warhammer army, like that's money bags right there. That is money bags. That little figure, that was like $40. That's like that's at least a deluxe Marvel Legends. And that's not even that big or anything. It's and he don't do anything either. But I do enjoy the lore of Warhammer. That is super interesting. I love that idea and getting into the lore of I love a good like whatever story is behind the any figure or type of toys or something like that. If there's good like solid lore behind it, I'm in. I'm in. If it speaks to me, I should say that. 2012 or another challenge. Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, and after painting Warhammer for a while, everything kind of becomes easy. 'Cause I think after I had done a bunch of like practice Warhammer stuff, I went to paint. It was a head sculpt for Ao Frankie had um gotten a head sculpt for his Thanos, and I had painted it for him, and at first I was like all worried about it. I was like, oh, I haven't done a face sculpt in a while. You know, I'm a little nervous, a little self conscious. As soon as I started, I was like, oh, this is easy because the last like month it was just all Warhammer. I was like, nope, not a problem. Okay, so I think we got all the orange. Woo! Okay, let's do a little bit more orange up there. Last time I played small figures like that, I need to use magnifying glass. Yeah, it's crazy because at my work, I work with a bunch of microscopes, and I can't tell you how much I want one of my microscopes from work at home. And one time I googled like how much the microscopes are. I will not be getting one of those because they're like 12 to 1400 bucks just for crazy microscope. Which I get it. They want the high quality stuff. but like once in a while, um, I'll get my figures like in the mail, like right before I leave for work. So and so does AO Frankie. We'll bring our toys to work, and if we see something, we'll like put them under the scope, and we'll like be or I will at least I'll be nitpicking them like, oh look at this, look at this. So that's kind of fun to do. Come on, stay up there. Damn it, stay. God damn. Oh, cool. Now, what I'm going to do. Nice Warhammer game for PS4. Shit, that's yeah. Which Warhammer game? Is it Space Marine or Space Marine 2? I definitely got behind that Space Marine 2 when it first came out. No, there is no way. One, I something really catastrophic would have to happen for my work to go under. 'Cause I have to be careful how I word this because it's government contract type stuff, man. I signed NDAs, so but it is like secure. We'll say that. So the only way we would go under is if like we like stopped going to war, I think. It's like one of those situations. Space Marine 2, hell yeah. I haven't played it in a while because other stuff has come up, but I had tons of fun with that game. And like all the free updates they're doing, I love it when companies like just stand behind their product and their game. Especially like video games these days, there's a lot of shit ones out there that are just they're just cash grabs. They're all just cash grabs. And a lot of just like, oh, we made our budget back, that's all we care about, you know. There's some good video games with some good companies, and we need more of that. We need more of that. Come on, camera, stop doing. Mm-hmm. This is strange holding it like this. I need to I need to adjust this camera eventually for this. This is not natural feeling. Let's try this. Did that help any? A little bit. I was say when it comes to video games, um, Crimson Desert is the one I've been playing like crazy lately. And it just like came out of nowhere. The devs, you can tell that they care, they're passionate, they stand behind what they're doing, and it's just it's phenomenal. Little rocky start, but they proved themselves. They went in and immediately fixed things for free, and they've been adding things for free like crazy. Most modern uh companies would be charging DLC and prices like that, and it's just these guys are doing it for free. They know that their shit's worth it. But that shit is good. As if any of you guys are gamers in there and you haven't checked it out, check out Crimson Desert. It is definitely worth a playthrough. It's going to be a long playthrough because I think I am approaching 110-ish hours, give or take, in that game, and I think I'm just past the halfway point. There is a lot to do in that game. Let's see, a year ago, I also have a ring lamp and a tripod. It's so helpful. Yeah. I was like, yeah, it definitely is gonna change things up when I get the proper stuff to properly have this mounted. Like it is completely right now, it is completely jerry rigged. Like I have a tripod that's um meant for my camera, but it's like leaning up against my desk. I'll flip it around and show it here in a little bit because it is the most like jerry rigged looking thing. It's honestly pretty funny. Let's see here. Like my microphone is kind of facing like the opposite way it should, and it's gonna feel good once I have all the stuff properly out here. I have like my two lights up here and the webcam stuff, and I don't know why I jumped the gun on this stream. I probably shouldn't have, but I should also probably paint the frame. I have a feeling this brush has got something. Yeah. So we're gonna clean. I had a feeling my brush was getting a little too dirty. So I went and cleaned it. Yeah, there was something on the tip. Let's see, what time is it? 6:55. Holy moly. Let's see, 7. Let's see. Wow, it's 10 o'clock for you guys. Holy moly. I'm just assuming y'all are East Coast. At least to my knowledge, only a select few uh amongst the majority of the people I know at least that are online um are on the West Coast with me. I think there's me, Frankie, uh LP, um I think Blake Tarpley, I think he's in Oregon or California, I don't remember. But yeah, there's not a lot of us. 10 p.m. Wow. Okay, the plan for this is because I know it's late for y'all. I'm gonna try and at least wrap this step up and get the clear red over this just so y'all can see this. So it can look like I completed something tonight on stream. But I'm gonna get this done, get the clear red on, and probably call it a night. And like I said earlier, I appreciate y'all for showing up. I completely never expect really anyone to come through because I'm kind of the unknown person. A lot of the stuff I have or the stuff I, really collect hardcore isn't in a lot of people's wheelhouses, or at least the people I talk to, at least on the YouTubes and in the toy sphere. Uh, so it is always nice to see some faces here. Let's see, Rondo, Indiana. Oh, Indiana. Wow. I can honestly say I've never been. I haven't traveled much, so I think the only other places I've been to is there's California because I went to college there in the butthole of California, Sacramento. It's crazy. Sacramento's like a bigger version of my hometown, except a freeway running through it, and slightly more homeless and drug people. And there's the capital. That's honestly like really the only major difference is there's a freeway and the capital. Well, I guess technically I've been to Idaho and Oregon, but it was never like to do anything there. Like I guess in Idaho there we went to a theme park. Um and in Oregon we were just driving through to get to California. We didn't stop anywhere in Oregon. Well, I guess we stopped in there's a town called Weed in it's either in California or Oregon, I don't remember. Maybe I'm tripping. I think I was went to Canada, I think as a kid, a wee small lad, but I don't remember that. Hit these fingers. Get this hand. Okay, we are gonna call that good for now. Let's get some red. I've heard they got the good stuff. As I end, because I'm in Washington. We've had green for a while. Lots of lots of college parties with the old green. Now I'm gonna mix up some transparent red. Why is it doing this? There we go. And where is my dropper? There it is. It's water. I don't need much. That stuff's already pretty transparent. I think just let's start with 2 drops. Let's see how that does. That's why I like painting on the glove. So now I can kind of see how all that's going to look. Ooh, look at that. That is beautiful. All right. All right, all right, all right. Now, watch this magic. Ooh, yeah. Now, I hadn't done the yellow on the opposite side. I had only done the orange, so looks. Don't be alarmed if it looks a little different, because it alarmed me for a second. It's like, wait a minute. Oh yeah, this is looking good. Just nice. Now I could easily just do an airbrush with this, um, and just do it that way. It'd be much faster, but we're making it difficult for ourselves today. Beautiful. Trust the process was also another hard thing to discover and learn. I do remember when I discovered it though. I was a huge fan of Bob Ross as a kid. And that's kind of how I at least got the itch for painting. 'Cause I would just be transfixed on the TV if he ever came on, and I was lucky to be like at my grandma's house when he came on, because we didn't have the TV at our house growing up, or at least not for a while. Um, yeah, I was just enthralled with. There's no way he can make that look good. There's no way that's going to turn into anything really. Oh my gosh, he did it. The stuff he could just accomplish with just a quick little whispers of paint, happy little accidents. All types of stuff like that. That was really interesting to watch as a kid. It definitely got my painting itch started. And now I'm fully consumed by it. It's infected, clearly. it it's never gonna go away. As I say, that's one of the things I'm gonna try and do, Quentin, is try and introduce people to airbrushing. Um, because it isn't as scary and as complicated as some people make it out to be. And kind of like with any types of painting, there's do's and don'ts. Um, it's kind of like with anything, but it's definitely doable. Yep, him and Mr. Rogers. And it was crazy to find out that Bob Ross was a freaking what was he what was he like a lieutenant or something in the Air Force or some shit like that? Like that was wild. Like he was like one of the drill sergeants, I think. I don't want to say he was one of the I think he was a rank above a drill sergeant. I honestly don't remember. It's been a minute since I've heard that story. But he was a pretty high, decently ranking person in whatever field he was in. I don't remember if it was Air Force or Navy or what. I was like, Mister Happy Little Trees. He's the one yelling at people. Okay. Oh, that's right. Shartimus is on this side. That's right. I was saying, I think we only have one toy show on in our immediate area. I'm sure there's other smaller ones. Um, I guess there's two. We have one in our hometown here, and it's never really a great turnout because usually it's just people selling their garbage that they can't get rid of. Um, and then we have the Washington State Toy Show, which LP sells at. We were gonna try and go this year, but um, me and Frankie are trying to save up for Toy Unity. So it was kind of either usually we can only make it out to one, maybe two of the more local type things because it's like a 2.5 hour drive, freaking over the mountains, over the pass to Seattle, or not Seattle, not even Seattle, fucking Puyallup. Um, Me and Frankie used to religiously go to Washington SummerCon, and that kind of started as we were um I talked about like Dragon Ball Z. We'd gotten some stuff signed by a voice actor there, and that's kind of how it started. And we noticed they had toys there. We were like, "Oh, this is really cool. We'll keep going to this." And eventually, we just kind of started to not like it, just because there's always issues with the event, and it's just not our scene anymore. A bunch of the guys were involved in. Oh, I heard once he was a convict making those shows. Holy moly, that's crazy. But now we have a much deeper, richer red. It's just got more dimension to it, and it looks so much better than just like the flat plastic. And that's just something I love to do. Um and it just it makes your figure just a little bit different than everyone else's, and it so you don't have like the same thing, that's on everyone else's shelf. You can say that, you know, if you painted, you can say that, I painted that, that's mine, that's all me right there. So that is the result of tonight. And this still got a little ways to go, but definitely, definitely a good time, some good progress. And as I said before, thank y'all for showing up. Spent some time here. Um, it's been 5, 6, wow, 2 hours. Okay. And yeah, like I said, I appreciate y'all who showed up. Like this was crazy. This was awesome. I'm gonna definitely do this at least once, if not twice a month, where I just paint something. Uh, at the first of every month, there is Customizer Collective, which is me, GI Customs, Gun Bunny Customs, and JMK Custom Works, where we all have our show and tell project that we do for that, and just kind of whatever we're doing, other projects we got working on. Um, that and I'm on Men on Films on Saturday at Talib's channel. Me and Ayo Frankie, I know we're gonna do a live together at some point here soon. I don't know when specifically or what about. I think that's still up in the air, but yeah. So I mean, like I said, I appreciate y'all for showing up. Quentin, Rondo, freaking Dan, anyone else who's been lurking in the chat. And Replay Squad, shout out to Replay Squad. Um, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for listening to my ranting and just watching. Hopefully, hopefully make this Daredevil a little bit better. But you guys take it easy. Happy Father's Day, and until next time.